Hi everyone, and welcome to the Soul Illumination Reading for the sign of Capricorn. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So hi everyone and welcome. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at what your soul would most like to illuminate for you at this time. We're going to be first pulling a card here, Capricorn, which is wonderful. This is the energy that you are bringing to the table at this point. And then we're going to be looking at an area of focus that your soul would like to illuminate for you at this time. We'll dive a little deeper into the message, pulling some oracle cards and some clarifiers. We'll be taking a look at a block or a challenge, advice from spirit as to how to overcome that, and then I'll be looking at a level of abundance or spiritual growth that wants to come in. Additionally, for anyone who is interested, I do book personal readings. If you'd like more information around that, you can click on the link in the description box below. And I appreciate you viewing, so thank you so much. I hope you get a wonderful message out of this reading. So Capricorn, we have the Empress. Beautiful energy to be sitting with. It's the energy of creation or creativity. It really speaks to our ability to hold space for what we would like to bring into this world, whether it is literally giving birth to something like a child, or whether it's giving birth to a creative endeavor, or even just a life experience that we would like to bring in for ourselves. So it's very abundant energy. Now, in your external, or what your soul is highlighting for you, is the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. Now, for some of you Capricorns out there may be a Sagittarius who is trying to connect with you, or a kind of passionate, fiery sign type person. What do I mean by that? Because Knight of Wands is someone who is very much a freedom seeker. I like to call the Knight of Wands, because it's associated with Sagittarius, the spiritual adventurer. This is the individual who wants to learn through direct experience about what they're passionate about and how they can apply their passion to bringing more fun, enjoyment, and emotional connection into their life experience. So this is the individual who might be a little bit of a thrill seeker, or who wants to just do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they're always kind of going out there to gain a little bit more direct firsthand experience. Now, the Two of Cups, this is direct connection with others. Now, there may be a sense here for some of you that's being highlighted right now. There's a sense of really getting to a place where you are free to connect on an intimate level with others, where there's a sense, Capricorn, of networking with the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. It's almost like I'm imagining a honeybee kind of going from flower to flower to flower. There's a little bit of this element of cross-pollination that always actually comes through with Sagittarian energy, but there's a sense here of really either again, there's a Sagittarius in your life, or an individual who kind of comes across like this, who's really looking to connect with you, and there's a relationship being highlighted. Now, we obviously are in the month of February, so here in the States, we are definitely focused on love because of Valentine's Day. But there could be a connection here between you and another individual, and a coming together. And that might be actually drawing out your own creativity, which is a really beautiful thing. Now, we have also the Seven of Pentacles, underscored by the Page of Swords and the Nine of Swords. So there's some anxiety that's been creeping through. With the Page of Swords, you have been, I think for many of you, trying to get to the heart of something, trying to gather more information, trying to be curious. The Page of Swords is someone who is opening themselves up to information, is opening themselves up to being curious about what they do not know about a situation, or looking further and deeper into what the true truth of a situation is. And I think for many of you, you're sitting here with a lot of the worry, I think, is coming from what to do next. The Seven of Pentacles as your main underlying energy is where we are taking stock of everything in our physical, and we're looking at, okay, what can I do with this? How can I continue to invest in what I have? Or do I want to continue to invest in what I have? So there's a sense sometimes when the Seven of Pentacles comes in like this, of us looking at, do we want to do things differently? Do we want to move money over here versus over here? Do we want to sell our home to buy a larger home? Do we want to invest more in our business versus, our personal life? There can be things like this where we're looking at everything and saying, where do I want to invest my time, energy, and money? Or how can I make what I have now grow? And I think for many of you, there's been a lot of worry about that. Worry about what to do next. Worry about, where to maybe put your money in the right place, or how to shift your time, energy, and money in a way that is allowing you, with the Empress, to grow something that you would like to, again, bring into your experience. So I'm going to pull some additional cards here, and this is where we're going to dive a little deeper into taking a look at the blocker, the challenge that's coming in, the advice from Spirit, and then what wants to come in for you on the other side, Capricorn. So let's take a look here. I'm definitely getting, though, that there is the energy of connection with a fire sign in your life. There's a sense of really coming to kind of, I like to say, true equal partners with the Two of Cups. This is kind of coming, when we say cup to cup, this is vulnerable connection. These are two people who are sharing their deep needs, their wants, their dreams, and they're equally matched. One person is not, let's say, one person doesn't have more and is looking to take from another. There's a sense of coming together, cup to cup, or eye to eye with somebody. So let's see here. What wants to come in? Now, this could also be, if this is not pertaining to an individual in your life specifically, this could also be, like, very similarly to what I was saying before. This could be where you're really looking, if you're wondering, what should I do next? How can I give birth to something I really want to experience in this lifetime? This could be where it's saying it's time to get out there and explore. It's time to start to connect with people. It's time to, sometimes when we're looking to answer questions about something, we actually can find the most answers through just directly connecting with other individuals who have maybe been in the same place as us and who can help guide us along that journey. It can also just be saying it's time now to connect with a sense of freedom in your life with others, to just go out and do what feels good. So we have the Moon and the and the Five of Swords coming up as your main point of challenge. Now, this makes sense. I think for many of you, there's a reason why you're kind of stuck in this limbo of the Seven of Pentacles, because with the Moon and the Five of Swords, this says that you really don't want to see because you can't see, because there's a lot of unknowns. The Moon comes up when the way is unclear, when we don't have a assured outcome. And the reality of our life experience is that, Capricorn, we're never going to have an assured outcome, right? It's that sense of we kind of just have to go on faith sometimes when we feel like it's time to grow something, or when it's time to, when we get to kind of a plateau. I look at the Seven of Pentacles as kind of that plateau point of like, okay, we've come this far, but do I just keep doing what I've been doing and just keep what I have, or do I now invest in a different new way to grow more or to bring something else into my experience? Now we have the Nine of Swords at the heart of your reading. So here's that Nine of Swords coming prominently in again. This is a lot of overthinking. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of, when we have the Nine of Swords come up like this, there's a sense of just being inundated with the what ifs and the trying to figure out all the different, it's almost like trying to come up with an answer to every single contingency, which we can't do. And it also speaks to the realization that these are just thoughts. We can try to come up again with, what if this happens? What if that happens? But it can mean that we're thinking too far in the future. If we haven't actually taken steps towards doing anything, then at this point we're just stuck what ifing about something that isn't even, that we're not even taking action towards. So this can be where, with the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords, this is a lot of energy put kind of spinning your wheels inside, but not actually growing anything. This is like saying, I have something I really want to grow in my life, I really want to see come to pass, and yet I'm kind of fighting actually having to take physical action, because the Five of Swords is just that. This is the person who doesn't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. They just want to, this is their opinion and that's all that counts. They're the person who might want to get the last word in every time there is a, an argument, or, if, let's say you're trying to gather the facts, this could be the person who doesn't want to hear what someone else has to say. So there's a sense here of basically saying, like, I can't do something because I don't actually want to face that, the future is unclear. You may be feeling a calling towards doing something, which the moon often represents, but there can also be this sense of that fear of, but I can't see where this is going to go. I can't see if there's going to be a return on my investment. But when we're sitting in this place of anxiety like this, overthinking, we're not doing ourselves any favor. Because, the Wheel of Fortune, because this is saying the time is now. The wheel is turning. And often we start to feel the moon. So the moon always shows, well, in the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck, but in this one as well. Oh, interesting. The card was flipped over on the side. So we have the Death card and we have the Five of Pentacles. That's very, very interesting. I'll get into that in just a second. But let me finish my thought here. So you'll notice that there's a lobster or a crawdad coming out of the water, and it looks like he's being called up by the pull of the moon onto dry land and to probably journey towards the mountain in the background. So there's a sense of when we feel this pull to leave a comfort zone, to leave a place, an environment that we have long felt like we were able to swim and breathe and we were acclimated, and now suddenly we feel the call towards something new. And yet when we come up out of the water, we see something that is completely unclear to us. We don't know if we can make it. We don't know if we can make that journey. We don't know if we can, walk out on dry land and be okay. And so often when we feel the pull towards the new, this is where we have plateaued and we're being called towards the next cycle in our life, the next round of spiritual growth, where we are facing a new set of challenges. And that can lead to a lot of anxiety, right? But you have something here with the Empress that really would love to be created. There's a creativity or a creative energy that you're sitting with, that it's ready to give birth to something. And with the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Swords, this is that clarity. This is that realization that, yes, sometimes we have to feel that fear and face that lack of clarity, and we have to do it anyways. We have to go out there and be the spiritual adventurer. We have to go out there and connect with others. We have to bring our cup to the table, and we have to see what else is out there. Now, with the Five of Pentacles as your underlying energy, your secondary underlying energy, there's a sense of lack. There's a sense of, I don't have enough. I don't have enough money, energy, support, whatever it is in the physical. Or there's a fear that you might be left out alone, that you don't have the support that you need if you maybe make a change or decide to invest in something differently, or you leave a place that has felt comfortable and secure for you, whether this is work or home or your personal life. But there's a sense of leaving, being called up towards something. And with the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Swords is saying there's clarity here. When we sit and we realize that when the Wheel of Fortune comes in, it means the wheel is turning over again, which generally heralds in a new cycle. It means that the energy, maybe that you was stagnant at some point, something has changed that. And it's almost like the gears are, clicking back in, and the rust is kind of shaking off. And it's like, okay, here's the turning point. And if you embrace that, that's when the clarity comes in of, wow, I see what needs to be released. I see where I can free myself. There's a sense here of really coming to that place of freeing yourself. Okay, so I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. So we're going to dive a little deeper into each one of these cards to see what else wants to come up. Let's see what... What does the moon have to say here? There's a call to adventure. That's really what I'm feeling for you, Capricorn, which is interesting. Okay, so we have 2 cards that came out upright. So there's that Page of Swords again with the 6 of Swords. Now this could very much be, for some of you, you're trying to figure out how to move on from something. Now the 6 of Swords sometimes can actually represent a true literal physical move someplace else. How do I move on from where I've been living for a long period of time? How do I move on from a job I feel stuck at? How do I move on from, maybe with the 5 of Pentacles, a limiting mindset, a poverty mindset where I'll never have enough, or I can't see a way to ever make more than a certain amount. So there's a sense here with the Page of Swords of trying to gain information as to how you can move forward, how you can move on, how you can transcend perhaps a limitation or a fear. Now with the 5 of Swords, there's that 2 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. Now the 2 of Cups, again, is that intimate connection. These can be deep friendships, partnerships. This can be with your romantic partner for sure. But with the 9 of Pentacles, now the 9 of Pentacles can speak to a comfort zone, but it can also speak to where we are independent, and we have the 9 of Pentacles can be seen as the independent or single person who, you know, has everything going for them at the time, meaning they can pay all their bills, they can stop, and if they want to go on vacation, they can go on vacation, they can enjoy the fruits of their labor. But it can also be where we have hit that plateau. We have hit that comfort zone where, yes, we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, but ultimately we don't stop at the 9 of Pentacles. There's one more pentacle. There's the 10 of Pentacles after that really speaks to our ultimate legacy, home, inheritance, whatever we want to achieve in the physical for ourselves and possibly pass down to future generations. Now, for some of you, there's a sense here of, with the 5 of Swords, of not wanting to connect with someone in regards to either A, enjoying the fruits of your labor. This could even be where someone is, you know, this could be like, or if you're joining, let's say, in a financially with someone, like let's say you're moving in together or you're getting married and one person makes more than the other. There could be a sense of almost like not wanting to combine resources. Like, I want to keep my money separate and you keep your money separate, and I don't want to hear how we can combine our assets and do something differently. There can be a little bit of that. There's like a little bit of a breakdown in communication here. Now, this could also be maybe where you're fighting with someone in your life experience as to how to spend your money, how to invest it differently, or even how to enjoy the physical things you have currently. So I think for many of you, there's a sense here with this 2 of Cups that there may need to be a sense of connection with a sense of freedom. You know, there's almost like, I'm getting just intuitively, a controlling of the money. Like somebody's holding the purse strings while somebody else is like, let's go out and travel, or let's go out and, you know, let's buy that bigger house that we know we need. You know, we have the money in the bank. Or, you know, this could be where someone doesn't want to maybe start to go out there and network and start to see what other jobs are out there, or go to, like, let's say a learning, like going to a convention or taking a seminar. Like they don't want to connect with others on that level. They don't want to spend that kind of money. And there's a sense of, again, someone really holding the purse strings. And I think for many of you, what you don't realize is if you want to be able to create, if you want to really tap into your own creative potential, it's going to have to be a little bit of a loosening up and a less of a focus on the physical versus focusing on what you're passionate about and bringing passion into your life experience, especially if you're in relation, if you have a close, let's say, romantic partnership or a business partnership or someone you're very close to, where your finances are linked together. There's a sense of having to kind of loosen the purse strings a bit, or work together to figure out how you can grow something that is a benefit to both of you, maybe not just to one of you. Okay, so let's see here with the Nine of Swords is the Two of Coins. Yeah, there's a sense of, I think for many of you could be looking at your routines. Two of Coins is also where you're not quite sure which coin to prioritize. It's like looking at two new opportunities and trying to juggle both. This could be like saying, I want to make more money here, but I also want to, move. And you're sitting here trying to figure out how to do both, or how to continue to work at a 9-to-5 job while also trying to have a side business. That could be something here. It can also be where you're just kind of getting stuck in a routine. And again, you're not looking at how you can change that routine to prioritize something in the physical, whether it is your time, your energy, or your money, to put towards what you currently have to elevate that situation, to get it out of a level of stagnancy, or with the Page of Swords and the Seven of, like these three cards, Nine of Swords, Page of Swords, and Seven of Pentacles. This is a lot of worry. This is a lot of overthinking. This is a lot of trying to analyze. What do I do? Is it worth it for me to try this? Maybe I need to gather more information. And there's a sense of almost like burning yourself out, Capricorn, but not actually getting anywhere. Because again, there's a sense of really needing to take action with the Knight of Wands, movement, taking action and actually doing something in the physical, not just overthinking yourself about it. So then we have the Lovers and Temperance. Yeah, there's a new way to love for some of you Capricorns out there. It sounds weird to say it like that, but Temperance comes in when we're being asked to kind of pull out some new moves, when we're being asked to take life experience that we already have, and temper it into something new. This could look like you're realizing maybe in the past when you were in intimate relationships, maybe you did have a problem with one person spending too much, or you were the one spending too much, something along those lines. And suddenly you're realizing like, oh my gosh, I've learned how to manage my money now, or I understand how to be able to maybe make money. Maybe you have more confidence in yourself to be able to make money than you did in the past. And there's a sense of being able to bring that forward. There's a level of experience that you didn't have in the past. And so now you're gonna kind of change it up a bit and realize, I used to worry about money all the time and I used to fight with my significant other, but I don't need to do that now. I can relate to my romantic partner and money in a new way because I've learned a lesson. It can be something along those lines. It also speaks to everything in moderation. So if, there was maybe an over focus of money, now there needs to be kind of a change in that focus and bringing that into balance with something else, because often Temperance can be about bringing your emotions and where and how you choose to take action into alignment. It can look like maybe in the past you just acted without an emotional connection, or vice versa. Maybe in the past all you did was feel, and you never took action. And with Temperance, now you get to blend those two together, and you see the importance that when we choose to take action based on what we feel and how we stay emotionally connected, that's where the real magic in our life lies, because then we are in every moment of our life, as we're choosing to take conscious action that we're emotionally invested and tied to, our whole life becomes a beautiful, emotionally connected present moment, not just a day with the Two of Pentacles that just slips by doing the basic mundane tasks that we have to do every day. So there's a sense here of, I think for some of you, balancing what you love into your day-to-day routine. There's a sense of doing something differently, of changing something up, of bringing the adventure and the love into your everyday experience. Instead of maybe trying to balance a little bit of that with a lot of something else that is no longer fulfilling. Now for the Wheel of Fortune, we have strength. This is saying it's going to take a lot of courage to I think for some of you, admit that a cycle has closed and that the wheel is turning again, that there's a chance here to leave a level of stagnancy. With the Six of Swords over here, there's also a sense of transcending a massive mental limitation or barrier in your life that can really free you up to be able to, I think, have a great kind of leap forward in your own spiritual growth, but also in a way that will bring in a sense of freedom and passion and integrating love into your everyday experience. Yeah, so here's that 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, you have to have the strength to go for the 10 and not just stay in the 9. And I know that always sounds, oh yeah, that sounds great on paper, right? I'm not gonna, I finally make it to almost to the top where I feel great about myself. And I can finally enjoy the fruits of my labor, but now I'm gonna have to push myself to go for that 10th Pentacle. That can be difficult. 10th Pentacle can be a home. It can represent that, a physical home. It can represent again, a legacy that you want to achieve. It could be that savings account, that bank account that you want to have a very specific dollar amount in there that you want to reach before the end of your experience. It can be very much the physical of what you want to, again, leave as a legacy to future generations. But I think for many of you, there's a sense of, that it's time to either move homes. It's time to... Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I left my phone. I'm going to turn it off here. Okay. It's time to level up. It's time to level up, and it's time to really go for it with the Wheel of Fortune. It's saying there's an opportunity, a chance to pull out new moves, a chance to do something differently, a chance to build into your day-to-day experience more of what you love, more time with who you love, and you have that opportunity to do that. Oops. And then we also have this one that was popping out here with the Page of Coins. Yeah. And that's the offer. The Page of Coins this could be putting the down payment on that future home. This could be going out there and offering, leaving a comfort zone, maybe in a job you've been at for a long time, and going out there and putting out your resume and showing people the skill set that you have to ultimately see if you can obtain a job or a different career path that can get you to the 10 of Pentacles. This could definitely be any of those. This could even be, for some of you, an engagement. This could be offering a ring to someone that you love to say, let's move in together and get that house on the hill and have the whole life that we both want to have in the physical. But there's a sense of having to commit to that, of having to make that offer, of having to take one of your pentacles and go out and invest it. And that one pentacle then becomes the 8 of Pentacles. It takes the 7 to the 8, where now you're building, you're creating. Now with the Ace of Swords, here comes the 5 of Pentacles. And this is where, if you have the strength to admit to yourself the comfort zone, it's time to leave. Be it moving home, be it moving to a new job or a career path, be it just growing something, a business perhaps, that is going to integrate more love and freedom into your life experience, into your everyday experience. There's a realization, I think, for many of you, when you have the strength to admit to yourself that this is what you want, and there's going to have to be a little bit of a sacrifice here with the Page of Coins, a little bit of an offering, and a little bit of a learning curve as well, having to go out there and learn through direct experience. There's the realization as to where this 5 of Pentacles comes from. Because the Ace of Swords is the clarity of realizing, oh my gosh, this is why I'm afraid to do something. This is the point of where all this anxiety has been coming from. And it's because could be because you went through something very difficult in the past. The 5 of Pentacles, I find often, is a card that really speaks to emotionally wounding times from when we were young. So usually before the age of 20, where we've gone through something in our life experience that tied us to a feeling of lack. Be that you watched your parents get divorced and suddenly you went from having everything to having nothing, or there was a money struggle. Or this could be where maybe a parent lost their job and there was a difficulty with money. This could be where there was a time in your life, in your early life, where you felt like no one supported you and you were all alone. And that generally, there's a sense of, I think for many of you, realizing where this sense of maybe a hyper-fixation on the physical has come from as well. For some of you, I do get the feeling there's a kind of a fixation on money, obtaining money, kind of not hoarding, but clinging to physical possessions. And that very much could come from the behavior of a parent or something that you had to go through that was kind of emotionally scarring in your past experience or in your younger experience. Okay, so then we have Death and the Hanged Man. Yeah, this is the realization of what it's time to release. There's a new perspective on this. I think with the Ace of Swords, it's like, oh, yeah, I see. It's time for me to release my tie to this belief in scarcity, to this belief that I'll never have enough, to this belief that I have to have more, to this belief that it makes sense. It doesn't kind of make sense in that way. When I'm saying you go from the 9 to the 10, it seems like, right, well, I'm looking for more. I want more. There's nothing wrong with continuing a growth period, pushing yourself to leave comfort zones, because that's how we continually grow in our life. That's how we continue to get closer to reaching our true spiritual potential and kind of realizing that puzzle piece where you get to realize all the little facets of our puzzle piece that we are, and truly get it closer to seeing where we fit and the impact we have on others that fit around us. But there's a sense here of realizing, I think, the difference between clinging to money out of the sake of clinging to money, or clinging to a house, or clinging to a job, or hyperfixation on the physical, versus understanding the importance of being safe and secure and having, a physical experience where you do have support, where you do have the roof over your head, where you do have the bank account you'd like to see, but realizing that that's just a means to an end, right? That money is meant to provide you with an experience, the Empress, to bring to life and help aid in the physical experience you want, not just to kind of cling to and hoard out of a sense of lack, but instead to say, I can use this to bring more joy and love into my life. I can use this so that I can buy that bigger house and my whole family can be happy and well cared for. I can use this to go back to school, to have a more fulfilling career path. I can use this to create a life of adventure and freedom where maybe I get to travel all the time. There's a sense here of that realization of, oh my gosh, this is why I've been so focused. This is where my fear has come from. This is why I've prioritized that over what I love in my life, or intimately connecting with another in my life, or trying to control the purse strings. So keep that in mind. Now we also have the High Priestess, which I love this card coming in. This is a card of deep internal knowing. It says, deep within, Capricorn, you know the decision your heart has made. You know you felt the call, and you know which way you need to go. And it's time to trust that. Now, both the High Priestess, there's a sense, of the High Priestess also. This card is, even though the moon is a card of Cancer, the High Priestess is also associated with the moon and is a sign of Pisces. And Pisces is really about getting to that place of belief and faith. Faith in what you intuitively know. Faith in both knowing your emotional depths and faith of knowing our spiritual heights, and bringing those together and kind of tapping into that universal wisdom. So there's a beautiful sense of being able to navigate through the unknown through using your own intuitive knowledge. Okay, now I'm going to pull a couple final additional cards here. So let's see, I'm going to pull an Power of Surrender card because I just love these cards. To see here, what's a final message here for Capricorn? Oh, I love it. Well, doesn't that just sum up this reading beautifully? It says, surrender your belief in scarcity. It says the universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And that really is the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. This is connecting with life from that sense of the spiritual adventurer. That life is not meant to just be lived in a closed circuit. It's meant to be a grand journey and adventure where we continue to grow, we continue to expand. And when we think about life as abundant like that, we can then look at our physical resources as the same. We may shift things around, but there's still more that can always come in for us. And it's not always more of just, let's say, physical money. It can be more love, more support, more people coming into our life as well. Beautiful energy. All right, let's pull one more card here, and we will read the little excerpt that comes with it, and then that'll be the end to your reading, Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know as a final message? What does Capricorn need to know as a final message for their reading? Okay, so you have two cards. We have the Heart Transmission, and we have Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. Beautiful. So the Heart Transmission, number 37, breaks down to the number 10, further breaking down to the number 1. So this number really harnesses the endings and beginnings of a cycle, which I love. And then the number 9 is the number truly for me of the magical and mysterious quality to our life experience. It's the unknown wrapped up with all of the universal knowledge that we can know. So it's an interesting dynamic here. Let's go ahead and see. So I'll read the little excerpt from the Heart Transmission. Oops. And then we'll read the Divine Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. So let's see. Heart Transmission. Yeah, there's a sense of really getting into that place of love, of what you love, who you want to have, who love you, surround you. It's beautiful. It says your heart is capable not only of giving and receiving love, but of connecting you to a great network of beings that resonate in the highest frequencies of divine love. Through your heart, you can receive information and guidance from networks of light that fill our universe. As you learn to open your heart to receiving these transmissions, your ability to work with group consciousness in a loving way increases. You shall affect humanity in a loving way, influencing the collective rather than allowing the lower frequencies of the collective to overwhelm you. Working with group energy is a leap on the spiritual path with risk, but also great reward in terms of empowerment to manifest your life mission. The risk with group energy is mitigated when you approach it from the heart rather than the head. The mind can argue one point of view and then immediately and convincingly argue its opposite. And that's definitely the 5 of Swords down here. And the 9 of Swords. It says the heart, however, either feels something resonates or it doesn't, whether or not there's a logical explanation for it. And that's the High Priestess. The mind can be seduced by those who tell you they have great spiritual power, but this will instantly trigger intuitive warning bells in your heart, for those with genuine power do not need to convince you of it. The heart is the key to deciding where you offer your devotion. When you offer devotion to the group consciousness that loves you unconditionally, your heart feels safe, loved, and an inner knowing of the rightness of that group for you, whether that group exists on the earthly plane or in a spiritual dimension. For as long as it gives you life, broadens your horizons, nourishes your truths, and empowers you to live your destiny, that group is serving you. If you do not experience these positive effects, if you feel drained, confused, or that your issues are not resolving as you work with this group, listen carefully to your heart and question whether it is indeed the right place for you to be. It is important to also work with groups that you can serve. Although you may love your family, for example, they might not be the group you can best serve. Perhaps those who are open, willing, and receptive to your spiritual gifts are outside your family. Perhaps your family can benefit spiritually from you in the role of mother or son or daughter, but not in the role of a spiritual mentor. On the other hand, some groups may want to feed off of you, but not learn to do for themselves. They may wish for you to give them the answers to their problems. They may not be willing to develop the trust, courage, confidence, and empowerment that is required to take responsibility for their own relationship to the universe, which is needed so they can grow in soul wisdom through their life experiences. Your heart may guide you to withdraw your services from such people because you love them and want them to grow. Your heart will guide you to operate differently with different people. You may be guided to explore hobbies or interests that lead you to the next group that your presence can assist. The heart will also guide you when it is time to move on. The transmission of the heart gives a truthful assessment of the interaction of your frequency with the frequency of a group. Is it mutually raised? Then this is a spiritually constructive connection. Is it diminished? This will not be so helpful. The heart empowers you to know when to work with others, for how long, and in what way. Trust it. The more you do, the more groups which can bring great benefit to you and to the planet can enter into your world. I love that. Okay, so number 9, wisdom of the divine feminine. It says, oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to yawn on you there. Okay, it says, divine feminine wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envision a very different life for yourself to what you are experiencing now. This wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire, to become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams, and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through your experiences each day. The universe supports your divine destiny and is helping you become all you are meant to be. When the wisdom of the divine feminine reaches for you, the message is clear. You are in a process of becoming more of heaven on earth. Sometimes there are growing pains alongside the joy such growth brings, and that can actually be the Empress, which is very interesting. You may feel concerned, thinking your pain is an indication that you are failing in some way. You may judge your suffering as a sign that you are not operating at a high enough frequency. Yet how many spiritual masters upon this planet have endured great suffering, as well as experiencing tremendous joy and love in the fulfillment of their divine destiny? Growing pains are just part of the feminine path of creation, of breaking through what has become too small for you. There is joy in the eventual freedom, but the act of breaking through can feel painful at times. And that's the Empress giving birth through the comfort zone that has become too small to break into the freedom that lies out here. The freedom to connect authentically. It says, when things are difficult or you are feeling doubt, when you feel the need to do something that scares you and challenges you at the depths of your being, you are experiencing growing pains. They will pass and you will benefit from the growth. However, you need to know that while this difficulty is in your life, the divine is very much with you, encouraging you, believing in you so much that it will deliver a tough lesson. You can handle it for however long it needs to continue, and that won't be forever. This oracle also brings you a message about how much the divine feminine loves you and wants to help you grow with the least struggle and the most peace. If you don't listen to her, instead choosing to believe in fear, which is the 5 of Pentacles, you may be terrified of your growing pains. You won't be sure if they will ever end. You may doubt your ability to turn adversity into triumph. You may lose faith instead of trusting that life has your best interests at heart and that you are capable of meeting any challenge that arises. Instead of trusting, you may believe the world isn't safe. This can keep you paralyzed in self-defeating, self-harming patterns. While these may give you a temporary familial satisfaction, ultimately these patterns mean you will continue to struggle and suffer under the weight of addiction or emotional pain. You deserve so much better than that. The divine feminine speaks to you now and promises that if you are willing to show up to your life each day and trust in the circumstances before you, she will guide you into your most beautiful divine destiny. It is safe to trust her. She wants for you only the best and most beautiful life journey, one perfectly suited for all that you are and all that you can be. Your heart beats in perfect rhythm with a heart of love at the center of our universe. Trust your heart and trust life. All is progressing beautifully as you are guided ever deeper into your divine fulfillment. And boy, isn't that just showing itself here on the page or on the table. There's definitely a sense of being pushed, again, out of a comfort zone and into a level of freedom and transcending a certain level of, I think, scarcity and fear. And once you're on the other side, there's an element of divinity, of the expanding of your divine journey. And this is saying that you are held and supported. Trust your heart And the more you trust your heart, the more you bring that heart-centeredness into your everyday experience, bringing more of what you love, again, integrating it into every present moment. All right, I will leave you there, Capricorn. This is a very beautiful reading. I hope you all give yourself the chance to kind of take it in and to really push yourself to see what you're capable of this month. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website to see a list of my services. Otherwise, I will see you all in your next illumination reading. Bye, Capricorn.